Many WNBA fans are calling out the referee.
Hold up, because what if I told you the biggest sports story of the year isn't just about a WNBA rookie making history? It's about a league actively sabotaging its golden goose. Everyone thinks they know about Caitlin Clark's record-shattering rise, the sold-out arenas, the viewership numbers that even LeBron James can barely touch. But what I'm about to reveal will change everything you thought you knew about professional sports and the dark underbelly of big money. One minute, she's setting the world on fire. The next, she's limping off the court, benched with an injury that could have been completely avoided if the people paid to uphold the game had just done their job. And now, one of those officials is reportedly gone, quietly suspended, while new footage keeps surfacing, blowing this whole thing wide open. We're talking blatant non-calls, referees literally turning their backs on the face of the league during timeouts, and an avalanche of fan outrage accusing the entire WNBA establishment of pushing an anti-Clark agenda. The disrespect became so deafening, so undeniably obvious that even her own head coach had to publicly declare it egregious. By the end of this, you'll see this isn't just about a few bad calls. It's about integrity, money, and the future of an entire league hanging in the balance.
I thought she got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. A minus 31 free throw discrepancy.
Meanwhile, Clark, who has been carrying the WNBA on her back, literally playing through excruciating pain, through a barrage of uncalled fouls, through public indifference from officials, finally reached her breaking point. Picture this, even while sidelined, stripped of her jersey and unable to play, the camera catches her, paper in hand, marching straight up to the referees, giving them a piece of her mind with a defiant glare. This isn't just a rogue bad call here or there. This is systemic. It's calculated, and the ripple effect goes way beyond the outcome of a single game. So what was really happening behind the scenes, away from the cameras? Why was one specific ref abruptly removed from officiating games with zero explanation? And is the WNBA truly protecting its biggest, most profitable star? Or are they deliberately letting her get targeted and beaten up while they quietly cash in on her meteoric success? Buckle up, because the raw footage, the cold hard numbers, and the visceral fan reactions paint a picture that's so clear, so damning, it's absolutely impossible to ignore. Before we dive headfirst into this raging firestorm of missed calls, hidden injuries, and unprecedented referee backlash, do yourself a favor, hit that like button and subscribe right now. Trust me, you do not want to miss a single second of what we're about to uncover. Let's get into the deep end.
Referees just exposed their hand so bad, bro. I mean, they just didn't care no more. They didn't care. The world was watching how bad the cause was. They didn't care at all. They was going to get their issue off against the Fever no matter what. And I'm here to tell you, that's exactly what went down, bro. They have an agenda against Caitlin Clark.
In one viral clip.
Now, imagine this mind-boggling scene. 3 official referees, the supposed guardians of the game's fairness, literally walk right past Caitlin Clark. No eye contact, no acknowledgement, absolutely nothing. This is the very player who redefined college basketball and is now singularly responsible for the WNBA's unprecedented surge in popularity. She and her teammates are actively trying to communicate with them during a critical timeout, seeking clarity, looking for answers. And what do they get? One ref, in a moment that has since gone viral and will forever live in infamy, physically turns his back on her. Let that sink in for a moment. The face of the WNBA, the woman bringing millions of new eyeballs to the league, is being brazenly ignored, dismissed, disrespected, right there on the court. And here's the kicker. This wasn't some isolated incident. It was part of a disturbing, undeniable pattern. Now, reports confirm that one of those exact refs is gone, silently suspended. But for Caitlin Clark, the physical and emotional damage is already done. Then picture this pivotal moment. It's the final possession against the New York Liberty, the clock winding down, the game on the line, the entire basketball world watching. Caitlin Clark drives hard to the rim, initiating contact. Natasha Cloud reaches in, making undeniably clear, obvious, undeniable contact. The kind of contact that screams foul in any other game. But the whistle? It remains eerily, hauntingly silent. Clark looks at the ref, her eyes wide with a mix of disbelief and seething frustration, starting to shout in protest. Her teammates immediately immediately join in, mirroring her outrage. But the refs, they remain ice cold, motionless, like unfeeling statues. A fan's viral quote perfectly captured the nation's collective mood. "My 4-year-old son knew that was a foul." That single, egregious non-call didn't just swing the outcome of the game. It ignited a nationwide uprising, a full-blown demand for accountability. One prominent creator didn't pull any punches, immediately calling it selective officiating.
After every single game, WNBA players, fans, coaches are all complaining about the referees, and they have shown that they're not going to change anything because the referees continue to be horrible.
Another commentator went even further, branding it a blatant agenda. And here's what makes this situation even more infuriating, more disturbing. That possession, that single missed call, could have fundamentally altered the outcome of that game, but instead it may have changed the entire trajectory of the WNBA season. Let's dive deeper into the rabbit hole. What virtually no one realized, at least not yet, was that Caitlin Clark had been quietly, painfully playing through something serious, something far more insidious than typical bumps and bruises. Her leg, specifically her quad. Go back and watch the footage. There she is, grimacing, adjusting, with a heating pad perpetually wrapped around her thigh during games, pushing through obvious discomfort. And now, it's official, a debilitating quad strain. Caitlin Clark was forced to sit out her first game of the season against the Washington Mystics. The date, Wednesday night. The cost, immeasurable. For the league and for her. This is a player who had not missed a single game since 2017. From her high school days to her collegiate dominance to her WNBA debut. 8 straight years, never sitting, never quitting. But now she's sidelined, not because of some freak unavoidable accident, but because the referees, time and time again, flat out refused to call what was literally right in front of their faces. As one outraged voice chillingly put it, this injury isn't merely bad luck. It's league-sanctioned negligence. But Clark, true to her fiery nature, didn't go quietly into that good night. During halftime on Wednesday, even though she wasn't dressed to play, the competitive fire in her was still burning white hot. Camera footage captured her striding purposefully, almost storming toward the referees. She had a piece of paper clutched in her hand, pointing defiantly to the court, making an undeniable statement. This is the same Caitlin Clark who, earlier in the season, came within inches of a 1-game suspension due to accumulated technical fouls. She's never been shy about calling out injustice, and now she was calling them out directly. She wasn't just fighting for her own physical well-being or her career. She was fighting for her team, for fundamental fairness, for the very integrity of the game itself. And the officials, again, they offered nothing but stone-faced indifference. And then Stephanie White, the Indiana Fever head coach, stepped up to the microphone post-game and dropped an absolute bombshell. Her voice unwavering, her frustration palpable. She declared, "I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games." She wasn't vague. She wasn't dancing around the issue. She was talking about a staggering -31 free throw discrepancy. -31. Her team, aggressive and attacking the rim, drawing undeniable contact and getting absolutely nothing in return. The disrespect for our team has been pretty unbelievable, she concluded. Her blunt words didn't just fuel the fire. They ignited an explosion. Fans erupted, content creators rallied, and the public finally saw, with undeniable clarity, what had been happening, and they were not staying silent anymore. MVP odds crash. Millions of dollars on the line. Let's talk about the numbers. Let's talk about the cold, hard cash. Before her injury, before this systemic ref problem became undeniable, Caitlin Clark was the absolute betting favorite for MVP. FanDuel had her at even money, meaning a $100 bet would return $100 profit, a clear indicator of confidence. After the injury, after the world saw what she was enduring, she plummeted to +210. DraftKings had her at +150, still a significant drop. This isn't just about sports betting. This is a market correction based on a tangible loss of value directly attributable to the officiating crisis. And that value? It's not theoretical. Visit Indy, the official tourism agency, reported a mind-blowing 501% spike in traffic to Fever-related content the moment Clark was drafted. Indianapolis hotel bookings surged dramatically during home games. Ticket prices for road games skyrocketed, reaching an average of $312 per seat. That's up a jaw-dropping 140% in some cases, all because of her. And let's not forget, ESPN, a major sports network, aired a preseason WNBA game purely because of the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. That game, a preseason exhibition, drew 1.3 million viewers. Those are numbers that only LeBron James has matched in regular NBA broadcasts. All this unprecedented attention and revenue because of one player. And now, she's gone. Temporarily, yes, but the warning shot across the league's bow is permanent. The entire narrative is shifting. This isn't about bad luck or simply tough basketball, as some commentators tried to frame it. It's about something far deeper, more calculated. Content creators, analysts, and fans are connecting the dots at a breakneck pace. One commentator didn't mince words. They were just following the commissioner's instructions. Another fan went even further, posting, "This does not exist without permission from the higher-ups." It's not just missed calls, it's targeted non-calls. It's sending a message, and that message is crystal clear. You're not protected here. Do you honestly think the league didn't notice when Clark's mere presence brought in millions of dollars in revenue, in merchandise sales, in viewership? Do you honestly believe they didn't realize she was their undisputed golden goose, the lifeline of the entire league? They did, and they still let this happen. The response from the public? Explosive. Fans, creators, seasoned analysts. They're not waiting for permission anymore. One viral call to action summed up the sentiment perfectly. Every Indiana Fever content creator needs to come together like a dam of engines. One voice isn't enough. We need all of them. And they're not just venting frustration into the void. They're dissecting every single play, frame by excruciating frame, breaking down contact, meticulously comparing calls, and ferociously demanding accountability. There are widespread calls for seasoned NBA referees to take over high-stakes WNBA games, a blunt dismissal of what many are now derisively calling WCOM Junior League high school refs. As one creator powerfully articulated, this isn't just about sports anymore. It's about fairness, integrity, and the very reputation of an entire professional league. And the WNBA, whether it likes it or not, is being dragged into a blinding spotlight it certainly didn't ask for, but absolutely unequivocally earned. And now, for the chilling twist, reports are quietly emerging that one specific referee from that infamous Caitlin Clark viral clip, the one who turned his back, who missed the blatant foul, is no longer officiating games. Quietly pulled, silently removed. No official statement from the league, no public acknowledgement, but the timing far too perfect to be dismissed as a mere coincidence. That's not just a coincidence, that's a cover-up. And it raises the most damning question of all. What else are they hiding? Now, the biggest question hangs in the air like the tension before a buzzer-beating shot. When Caitlin Clark inevitably returns to the court, what will the league have actually done to address this systemic crisis? Will they have finally protected their most valuable investment, the player who single-handedly resurrected their relevancy? Will the referees finally be held accountable? Or will they simply continue with business as usual? Will the officiating finally be fair? Or will the targeted abuse persist? Alright, so here's where things get truly unmistakable real. Everyone, and I mean everyone, has been talking about Caitlin Clark's injury, the outrageous missed calls, the quiet ref suspension. But let's zoom out for just a second. This isn't simply about Clark getting hacked on a drive or being rudely ignored during a timeout. This is about a league that, for the first time in its existence, finally has the spotlight. It has the unprecedented attention, the millions of new fans, the surging revenue, and it might be fumbling the moment spectacularly. Clark isn't just another talented rookie, folks. She is a phenomenon, a cultural force. Her preseason game pulled in a staggering 1.3 million viewers. Her mere presence boosts ticket prices by an astronomical 140%. Cities are literally building new practice facilities because she exists, because she brings that much economic gravity. That's not mere hype, that's undeniable economic impact. But the WNBA has to ask itself, and the world is watching, how do you protect a player who is undeniably the face of your league without looking like you're overtly playing favorites? And here's the twist nobody's talking about, the uncomfortable truth that lies beneath the surface. This entire situation is also a monumental test for the entire player community. Some players are quietly riding the Caitlin Clark wave, benefiting from her massive popularity without much comment. Others have, intentionally or not, thrown shade, adding to the tension. But here's the cold, hard truth. If the league lets Caitlin Clark get physically beaten up, unfairly targeted, and ultimately sidelined, all while making millions upon millions off her name, what do you think that says about how they'll protect any of you when the bright cameras eventually move on? The WNBA is teetering on the edge of something absolutely huge. More eyes, more money, more opportunity than ever before. But it all crumbles. It all falls apart if the league can't prove it values its undeniable talent, its players' safety, and fundamental fairness over petty egos and internal politics. If Clark returns and absolutely nothing changes, if the physical abuse, the lopsided whistles, and the turn-your-back treatment from officials continue, then fans, content creators, and the crucial sponsors will walk away. Not because they hate the game, but because they simply cannot trust the corrupt system that's supposedly running it. The WNBA doesn't just need to protect Caitlin Clark, they need to protect the very future of the league itself. And that, my friends, is a wrap on this bombshell. Now, I absolutely have to hear what y'all think about this one. Did the referees unequivocally cross a line with how they treated Caitlin Clark? Was that final possession against the Liberty a straight-up unadulterated robbery? And what about that viral clip of the refs brazenly ignoring her during a timeout? Was it intentional shade, a deliberate act of disrespect, or just a truly spectacularly bad timing? Also, do you genuinely believe the WNBA is doing nearly enough to protect its biggest, most valuable star? Or are they simply riding the Caitlin Clark wave for as long as it possibly lasts, quietly profiting from her struggle? And hey, let's talk about that alleged ref suspension. Do you even believe it actually happened? Or is the league just trying to quietly sweep this entire embarrassing mess under the rug without making a single peep? Plus, when Clark inevitably returns to the court, should she speak out again, continuing to fight for fairness? Or should she simply let her game do all the talking? And where does this entire explosive situation leave the rest of the players in the league? Are they backing her, supporting her, or are they choosing to stay strategically silent? Let me know your full unfiltered thoughts in the comments section below. Don't hold back. I'm reading through every single one, and trust me, this is one of those pivotal moments where your voice truly matters. Oh, and if you're feeling this kind of no-holds-barred content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives and unvarnished, no-filter takes on the biggest stories. The drama in this league is just heating up, and you already know we're breaking it all down right here, right now. All right, catch you all in the next one.